Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Osiris and today I would like to give you guys an HRT update. So in today's video I will be talking about my 1-year update as well as my 2-year update, and just giving you guys some changes that has happened to me throughout the years, both physically and mentally. And yeah, so let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the physical aspects that hormone replacement therapy has had on my body. So one of the first things I noticed when I started hormones was my boobs. It definitely occurred within the first 3 months. I started getting the budding breasts that the internet talks about, the doctors talk about, friends talk about, whoever talks about. So I started hormones 2 years ago, and within that first year I definitely saw a lot of changes. Now I'm 2 years on hormones as it is, and I think the changes have slowed down a little bit, but I'm definitely hopeful for the 3rd year mark for another little boost. A little fun story: the first time I actually realized that they were developing, I was just bouncing around the house. I'm hyper, so I was just bouncing around, and yeah, I felt some weight going up and down, and I was just like, oh my god, what is that? Because it was just I never felt that before. It was a completely new feeling, a completely new experience. And so for my boobs to be I don't know, have weight bouncing up and down, that was just the strangest thing. And that was within the first 3-4 months. I definitely have noticed more changes in my breast since the first year of hormones. So on top of breast development, I've also noticed I'm getting a lot more fat to my hips, my butt, and it's kind of shrinking from my waist and pushing down. Even my stomach, I used to carry a lot more fat in the upper stomach, and I definitely see a lot more fat in the lower stomach. And yeah, so that's something I've noticed. And that's just happened over the 2-year course in general, my fat shift. Fat does redistribute, so if you're considering taking hormone replacement therapy, just think about, all the effects that it will have on your body, because it does have permanent effects after a certain point. Now I'm talking about hormone replacement therapy, and I'm not talking about T blockers, puberty blockers, any of that. So, back to my body. One thing I will say is, like I said, my boobs have been developing, but I'm kind of at a standstill at the moment. So I'm hoping within the next year or two, I will get some more breast development. If not, I might consider getting breast implants. But one thing that kind of puts me off about breast implants is the fact that you have to get them changed every 10-15 years, depending on the breast implant. And that's if they don't pop before that, or rupture. I don't want to have to deal with constant surgeries, so that's something that kind of puts me off. Yeah, so that's it for my boobs. So to wrap up the first year, I definitely had budding breast development. I've noticed breast tissue gathering towards the fronts and towards the sides. I have a lot of side boob, a lot of side breast tissue. And I noticed if I poke on the side of my breasts, it's a lot more dense than the front of my breasts. And it's a very interesting feeling. So on top of my breast tissue redistributing, my areolas have also gotten larger and darker, and I've noticed raised bumps. I noticed the bumps started to occur probably within around the 6-month span, and it was a little weird because I was wow. It's weird seeing your body go through changes and stuff like that. It happened with me from my first puberty. Remember the first little body hair I got, I kind of screamed and freaked out about. I was what the hell is this? I literally was in the tub, and yep, I just plucked, and I was it was a very interesting experience, to say the least. So within the 2nd year of my breast development specifically, I've noticed that they have gotten more full. They've definitely it's gotten more tissue towards the front. I still have a lot of side boob, but it's getting more tissue towards the front. And I'm hopeful that I will continue developing. I also noticed fat going to my hips, my butt, my lower stomach has more fat. I definitely have noticed changes in my face as well. Within the first year, I noticed changes in my face. My face plumped up. I used to have like a really, really wide smile. I don't know how to describe it. Like I still have a wide smile. Like it used to be like, I don't know, it just used to curl up. And the fact my cheeks redistributed in some way, some shape or form, in some area, and it changed my smile. It's very subtle, at least to others. Like my boyfriend does not notice it, but I can tell the difference, and it's very, very interesting. Besides my face, my butt, my boobs, some other changes I've noticed has been mental. I've definitely become more sensitive, more like self-aware of others around me. I guess before I was a little harsher in how I would engage with people, not really thinking as much about how they would feel, their emotions, and more so about how I was feeling in the moment. Now, I also do deal with like mental health issues. I have a history of mental health. So it's interesting to see how hormones has impacted that. And I always would say, like, once I started hormones, I feel like I would be able to understand myself better. I'd be able to understand the world around me better. And within the 2 years that I've been on them, I really will say that it's made a positive impact on how I interact with the world and myself. I can look in the mirror and see myself. I can look and see my face and not be like, oh my God. Like, and it's interesting because looking at some photos prior to me, like, taking hormones, I definitely could see things in my face that I didn't notice before. Like, before I started hormones. Like, I knew I wanted the physical changes that came with it, and I wanted to feel like my brain chemistry just bashed together, like waves. I don't know how to describe it. It has made me into such a stronger person, such a more proud and independent person. Like, so being on hormones throughout the 2 years I've been on them, I definitely have noticed that I've gotten more emotional, more attuned to my emotional side. I've always been emotional. I've always been hyper emotional, but it's like I feel it in a different way now, and I don't know how else to describe it besides just saying like it just feels different. It's interesting to feel these intense emotions, but in such different ways. I definitely have gotten more sensitive since I've started hormones, and I have noticed, like, say I miss my hormones for like a week or something, I'm depressed, I notice a shift in my emotions. I notice a shift in how I interact with those around me, how I feel internally, and how I perceive myself externally as well. So I'll just give you guys a small demonstration. You can see here, I do have a bra on. It has a little bit of padding, not much padding. They're fitting. Honestly, in my opinion, just a little on the small side, but I'd rather have small boobs than no boobs. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of hard to show my body. But yeah, so the body changes have been pretty awesome. I have noticed more fat has redistributed to like my hips. Like I can pinch my hips and there's fat there. And I've noticed my butt has gotten fuller. And it was interesting because I would look at my butt before and I would look at my butt now. And it's like the creasing of the booty cheek got lower. So that's interesting. So yeah, my booty's got a little filled, got the little apple bottom. My thighs have gotten a lot bigger over the first and second year. It's like added so much thigh. I've always had big thighs. I had little hips, you know, I had some hips. But now my thighs they're thunder thighs. I have thunder thighs. I have thighs for days. What is it? I can't think of the saying. Thick thighs save lies. Thick thighs save lies. That's it. Thighs have gotten bigger. My breasts have gotten bigger. My hips, my butt. I've noticed a lot of shifting in my fat. And like my figure is a lot more feminine. Like I said, I had a feminine figure before. But like with the additional fat, it's really like, it's just filled me out. It makes me look snatched. It makes me look snatched. And I'm super satisfied with that. Also, I just want to show you guys my boots. Look at these boots. Look at the boots. They're cute, right? Look at these boots. I'm gonna show you my boots. They're cute. Look at the boots. You like the boots? Got the chain. A little kick-ass. So all in all, I would like to say that I am like very satisfied with the way my body is changing, with the way my life has changed since I started hormones. 10 out of 10 would recommend. For my next few videos, there are a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about some different topics like my personal experiences socially with transitioning, the effects it had on me, my family, and I'm also going to be talking about some other trans-related topics such as like media. What kind of media have I been exposed to throughout my life that includes the trans community? I'm also going to be talking about the exposure I had to what transgender means, who transgender people are, and how that's shifted for me over the years, as well as some other crazy story times that I've had with neighborhood people where things have went a little crazy, we'll say. We'll just say that. I hope you guys liked today's video. Like I said, there's a few more things I want to talk about regarding my transition. Well, I guess there's a lot more I want to talk about regarding my transition, but I also want to talk about the experience of transgender people as a whole, and I want to talk about my experience. And there's this one crazy movie I'm going to review, and you guys are going to be like, yeah, this is crazy. And it covers trans people a little bit, but that's the thing. We didn't have a lot of representation. Like, trans people did not have any representation, so it's nice to see the representation that we're getting. Anyways, all in all, I hope you guys liked today's video. It was interesting for me. It's one of my first times filming a video, and I'm excited to share this experience with you guys and see like where it goes. What can I bring to the conversation? If you liked the video, if you want, you can hit the like button. You can subscribe. You can also check out my Instagram at OsirisaXe, OSIRISAXE. And yeah, but I love you guys. Thank you so much.